Hello, my name is Alyssa, and today I will be talking on narcissism and the dark side of interpersonal communication for Ethics 300X. Some questions to consider as I read along my slides. What is interpersonal communication, or IPC? What is the dark side of interpersonal communication? What is narcissism? How does narcissism violate standards of ethical communication? So to begin with, what is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication can be summarized as the sending of a message between two people. This involves a sender and at least one receiver. What is the dark side of interpersonal communication? The dark side of interpersonal communication includes things such as lying, like Pinocchio, gossiping, we've all seen it in schools, jealousy, when someone else has something you want, and bullying. These are all things that negatively affect others. So what is narcissism? Narcissism is characterized by self-centeredness, it's all about me, grandiosity, I'm better than you, and vanity, look at me. This cause is unknown, but the cause is unknown but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. The way we were raised, the people we surround us with, all affects if we are narcissists. Some examples of narcissism. First, I have the queen from the movie Snow White. She was obsessed with being the fairest maiden in the land and went to some great lengths to, preserve that right. And she just wanted to be the best. We also have Trump, who has a pretty big image. He has a very large self-image of himself, and in every case of his presidency, he tries to protect that self-image. So, Plato notes an observation relevant to narcissism. Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools, because they have to say something. This can be applied to how Trump is a narcissist because he repeatedly feels like he has to stand up for himself, and it may not actually be the best. So how does narcissism represent the dark side of interpersonal communication? To name a few reasons, narcissism involves putting yourself before others. Narcissism creates an inaccurate, inflated self-image. Narcissism can cause someone to doubt the abilities of others. And young people are more worried about how they are seen by others when they're surrounded by narcissists. So how does narcissism violate ethical communication practices? First of all, if a narcissistic person is more likely to put themselves before others, that denies others of opportunities, resources, and other gains that they may have rightly earned. It's unethical because it's unfair. If you look at this cartoon, neither one of these would be the case with a narcissistic person, except maybe on the left, the person who's the tallest maybe sees himself as the most important, has a high self-image. Additionally, if narcissism creates an inaccurate, inflated self-image, someone may not see a need to improve themselves. This is unethical because a narcissistic person isn't as open to work with others and take in new ideas that could really work. Whenever communicating, we all need to be open-minded and understand that we don't know everything. Some people don't understand that quite, but it's a good concept to understand. Third, a narcissistic person also may doubt the abilities of others. It can be dehumanizing, and according to Johansson, It makes a person seem or feel less human. This is unethical. If you look at this cartoon, it shows how over the years people have become more numbers than humans. This can be a lot because we fall back on statistics and that sort of thing, but it also applies to narcissism and how some people are held higher than others. And if young people are more worried about how they are seen by others because of the presence of narcissism in their lives, they are more likely to be influenced to do things that boost their status. As humans, we require others to learn, so if narcissism is present in our lives, we are more likely to become narcissists. We can see examples of this on social media apps such as Instagram. We see a lot of images where people might look perfect or they might be really idealized, and this just affects the younger people to do the same thing. We just have to remember that we all influence each other a lot. So how does narcissism violate standards of ethical communication? Narcissists violate standards of ethical communication by doing things such as drawing attention to themselves, using more profane and aggressive words, speaking to gain things that others may have earned, rejecting other people's ideas, dehumanizing others, and influencing others, consciously or not, to also be narcissistic. We can refer to Star Wars and the famous line, "Come to the dark side," or even Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, who are both narcissistic characters. In both cases, they are trying to influence other people. So in summary, interpersonal communication, or IPC, is the sending and receiving of a message between two people. The dark side of IPC includes things in communication that are unethical to others, for example, gossiping. Narcissism, part of the dark side, is characterized by self-centeredness, grandiosity, and vanity. Narcissism is unethical because it dehumanizes others and usually only serves the narcissistic person. Here are my references. And if you're curious if you're a narcissist, take this quick test. And I just hope you have a good day. Remember, narcissism is not a good or ethical thing.